David Starr, Carson Hocevar, and Connor Zillich. Bunch of stuff to be touching on the Friday edition of Gas and Go with Burning Rubber Radio. It's producer Wayne alongside Andrew DeLay, and who's that stranger over there, Andy?
Actually got the NASCAR chef away from his grill and brought him into the studio today. Hey, it's good to see you, John.
Yeah, guys, glad to be back. So we're going to talk about the Tricky Triangle this week. You know, Andy, Wayne used to think the Tricky Triangle was a buffet, but we won't go there. So
that was Andy that was thinking about that Tricky Triangle being the buffet. I mean, good Lord, he's fatter than I am.
Okay.
But either way here. So a couple of things to touch on here for the week. We've got, like we said, Connor Zillich. We've got more news on the whole bust of mind move with Carson Hocevar, the trouble he's gotten into after Mexico. But we've got a few other things that we want to touch on, too, before we get too far into things here. And that being in the world of the NTT IndyCar Series, Andy, you know where they're racing this weekend, right?
I have no clue.
They're racing at your favorite racetrack.
They're not at Talladega.
No. What is your favorite road course ever?
Oh, they're at Road America?
They are at Road America this weekend.
Yes.
Yep. And so that should be rather entertaining to see the boys run around Road America here. And word on the street is Alex Palou is hoping to do a little bouncy action and get back up towards the top of the charts there as far as the NTT IndyCar Series is concerned. I think we'll have to kind of play that one by ear. You know, time will tell. See if he actually can do something there.
Bouncy.
I wasn't going there, Andy.
Okay.
Hey, you know what would have made it funnier is if I would have actually had the spring sound effect be like, boing.
Boing, boing.
Okay, you know what? I new investment idea, must get spring sound effect.
Oh, Lord.
I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. Moving on into the IMSA series here real quick, though, Andy. And so we go from Road America to my personal favorite road course, and that being Watkins Glen here. And IMSA is heading over to Watkins Glen this weekend for the 6 hours at the Glen.
The Glen, that's always a fun thing. IMSA, of course, always a good show. And a lot of folks out there wonder what IMSA is. Of course, those are sports cars, but IMSA is also owned by NASCAR.
Yep, that they are. And then keeping the road course love alive here for a Friday, Andy, before we get on to all of the big NASCAR news here. Another group that we know very well, the Sports Car Club of America, has officially approved a new racetrack for the schedule, and that being the Podium Club Road Course out in Casa Grande, Arizona, at 2.32 miles in distance.
Wow.
Now, I wonder what is that going to be for the Super Tour, or is that going to be for their Pro, SCCA Pro?
So, just from the basics that I get here in the article, the track was designed by Podium Club Chief Driving Instructor, they don't say specifically if it's going to be for Super Tour, but they do make mention here. Podium Club General Manager John Mabry says that they cannot wait until October. So usually October is right around the time for the finals when it comes to the
runoffs
SCCA.
and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're usually way done by then. So, and I know this year the runoffs aren't in Arizona.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? One can only have hoped, right? To see him go to Podium Club. I mean, after all, you got podium drivers. Might as well have it at Podium Club.
yeah, no doubt. Okay.
But so, other than that, no full detail has been 100% noted here as to what they're going to be doing for the SCCA at Podium Club Road Course. So that is still to be determined. But we'll keep you updated as we get information on that one here. And AMA Supercross, Andy, we haven't talked about those guys in a very long time here. Jet Lawrence, I think this is why we haven't talked about it, because Jet Lawrence has just been kicking everybody's ass.
I don't know. You're kicking your camera's ass on your table. You're going.
The sad part is I'm not even playing the drums on it. I'm literally just sitting here just talking, and because of the movement, it's like earthquake.
Yeah. So, yes. And what about Jet Lawrence? He's out there kicking everyone's ass.
Oh yeah, he's just been out there kicking everybody's ass, and they actually just recently had a test at the new or not new, but the High Point track, and sitting there beating everybody in practice too, testing, practice, racing. I mean, he's got it all.
Wow.
So, and but moving on along now, we got to get into the world of NASCAR, and I would be remiss, Andy, if I didn't talk about another old friend of the show here, in Josh Bilicki. God forbid.
Okay.
God forbid everybody that got the Bilicki pick back when we did race picks. He is going to be getting himself a 2-truck run at 2 different races in the Nice Motorsports number 44, and just trying to double check here where he is going to be doing that. It looks like he is going to be with them for the Roval layout in Charlotte, and looks like Lime Rock.
I didn't even know the trucks ran at Lime Rock.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
Cool.
So in addition to the debut with the team in Lime Rock, Bilicki's schedule will later include start in the inaugural Craftsman Truck Series race held at the Charlotte Motor Speedway Roval on October 3rd. So.
Oh, okay.
And I read that as inaugural. I'm like, wait a minute. Why haven't the trucks run on the Roval before? That just seems uncouth to have them not on the Roval before this year.
True.
So NASCAR, what are you doing? You should have had them on the Roval a whole hell of a lot sooner. Oh well, we get it this year.
That'd be fun with the trucks under, Wayne. I'm right. No, you're right.
Mm-hmm. And it would definitely up the competition level. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah,
And,
definitely.
But either which way, you're moving on along, and one more bit of news for the Craftsman Truck Series. Spire Motorsports has officially announced that NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour standout Patrick Emmerling will be piloting the team's number 07 Chevy Silverado in the Craftsman Truck Series Miller Tech Battery 200 race coming up this weekend at Pocono.
Oh, that's good. And I do need to go back here because, of course, our minister of misinformation over here. No, the trucks do not run at Lime Rock.
Okay, now hold the damn phone. Let me bring this up here. I am looking at this directly from speedsport.com. So this is not on me. It even says here in addition.
Oh, they do. You're wrong. I'm wrong. They do run at Lime Rock. Excuse me, Minister. Actually, Saturday, June 28th, they will be running at Lime Rock. Now that is a first.
Andy,
Hey, I was just doing my due diligence for our folks over at the Land of NASCAR Outcasts.
I clearly tell my sources in this case. I clearly said on speedsport.com. So if somebody wants to bash somebody for misinformation,
all right. Wayne, hit me.
Oh. He would kick you under the table, but that damn duck's in the way. So.
Yeah, that's damn duck. He's still walking around here, crapping on the rug.
Oh, good Lord! All right, well we got to move forward here and get into the world of the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the top 3 articles that we were going to discuss for the week here, folks. And
well, we didn't. Did I miss Carson Hocevar getting in? Slap for
actually that's coming up next, matter of fact. Not right now, but it's coming up next, so we're going to be talking more about that here in just a second. So I would say this is one of the top 3 headlines for the weekend at Pocono, because this is something I never expected to see, Andy, and that being that Dale Earnhardt Jr. himself is going to be the crew chief for Connor Zilisch in the Xfinity race this weekend.
That's cool as hell, yeah.
Yeah, and that's because Zilich's crew chief got ejected, I guess, for a race by NASCAR, but they let him go to Mexico, so they're gonna fine him at Pocono. So Junior says, "Oh, to hell with it! I'm gonna climb up top the box and be the boss." He is the boss there, but.
And I tell you what, I've been watching X most of the week when free time is available to do so, and there have been a lot of people that when they saw the entry sheet saying Ralph Dale Earnhardt Jr. on that crew chief section, they were like, "Huh." But most of them were like, "I got to tune into that radio in particular because I want to hear the Juniorisms."
Oh yeah, I'm sure Junior's gonna have a thing or two to say like he usually does.
Oh yeah. No, there's definitely going to be some Juniorisms when it comes to this weekend at Pocono, and plus Junior is a multi-time winner at Pocono as well, so he's already got some good experience that he can throw Connor's way too. So
That's right.
should be quite interesting to see what happens with that for the weekend here. Now, speaking of Carson Hocevar, Andy, and we've been following this story since Mexico on Sunday, and while following this story, there have been a lot of highs and a lot of lows that have come along with this. Hocevar pretty much made some comments about Mexico before even getting to the racetrack to see what it was all about. He went ahead and retracted those comments because he saw how welcoming folks at the racetrack were, along with the fans in general down there in Mexico. And he has had to continue to walk things back a little bit more here in the last couple of days, even though he openly admitted that he had already screwed up. He's still having to really walk things back.
Yeah, he's being forced to walk things back if he wants a job.
Right.
He don't care. The real thing was said. Hocevar said the place is a quote shithole, and that was done on a live show or wherever that he made the statement.
Yep.
NASCAR heard that, and of course they were very upset about it. Spire Motorsports, of course, that made them jump 10 feet off the ground, and they started whipping. Carson Hocevar over the comments made. Carson didn't go down there and find the place nice and welcoming and warming. Everybody talked about all the bums outside the hotels that were begging everyone for money. Yep. Everybody was talking about the hostile atmosphere down there. And I agree. Just taking one step farther, forcing Carson Hocevar to retract all this stuff. Everybody out there was talking about how nasty the people were to the teams in general, even at the facility. So, listen, they need to stay away from Mexico City. Go back up to Canada or something like that, to Montreal. Yep. But no, yes, Carson Hocevar is right, and this is what Andy DeLay on Burning Rubber Radio says. Mexico City is a shithole. You were right, Carson.
Well,
remember, guys, I mean, that's Xfinity Series went a few years ago down there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't working out. That's back when I was cooking in the garage and you could hear folks talking. They didn't want to go back there.
Nope.
And why NASCAR takes the Premier Series down there just baffles me.
It really does, because, and it's not just the quality of Mexico in general. Yes, it has severely gone downhill in the last 20 some odd years as a living environment is concerned. But what Hocevar was saying literally is what we've been seeing on mainstream media every single day for how many years now?
Let's see. Hold on a second. And I may drive some listeners off out there, but I have to say this. When our own president of the United States calls the place a shithole country nation, and you're going to beat Carson Hocevar up for it?
Well,
that's as far as I'm getting politically.
Well, that, and it also goes back to another point that you made too, Andy, where how many people, made commentary in regards to what Mexico City was like with the beggars and, other things like that, and certain inhospitabilities.
And one other thing, talking about inhospitability, let me say another thing.
He can't even
Whenever
say it.
you have Daniel Suarez leading the Xfinity race, and you have NASCAR team owners jumping on the radio saying, "Don't get near him, don't get near him, don't touch him because he's Mexican." Well, he's a U.S. citizen.
Well,
Great
Latino.
job. Yeah, Latino. But the fact he's from Mexico, and you're scared to get up there and do what NASCAR does and get physical because he's part of the hometown crowd, and you're afraid y'all are going to get your asses beat before you get out of the facility. No, this is bullshit.
Yep, it is. It really is.
Absolutely.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. Suarez is a fantastic race car driver, hands down.
I love him.
And road course driver, yeah.
Exactly. He's a road course ace in his own right. But either which way, though, at the end of the day, NASCAR are virtually telling people, no, don't beat and bang him. It's gonna that just creates more havoc than not, because it's like, you know, I'm just
It takes NASCAR's credibility away from
it. It really does.
Absolutely, yeah.
It really does. And but beside the point here, it's just I'm glad Mexico's in the books, and from word that we've heard from certain sources, it won't be back on the schedule for 2026. And
That's what I heard.
And I hope and pray that whoever is making that schedule at NASCAR does the right thing and definitely keeps it away. Because it
Well,
really
I can say one thing, John and Wayne. I hope you guys don't want to go to any NASCAR races too soon, because after that outburst, we just got out of our credentials, gang.
We don't like their opinion. We don't like
And if we do, we'll get called in a big red truck, so we're in trouble.
Oh yeah, we will. Which we've already done. I've been called into freaking NASCAR already at a track, and we won't go into that, right, Wayne?
Yeah, we won't go into the bullshit that actually did not happen, that they claim happened, but 'tis okay. It's perfectly fine either way. But last bit of news here, Andy, that we're going to touch on before we wrap up for the week here, and that being that David Starr is going to get himself back in NASCAR once again here. Good. And he is going to be running the Garage 66 entry in the NASCAR Cup Series on June 28th at the Quaker State 400 at Echo Park Speedway.
That says a lot. Where the hell's Echo Park Speedway? They got Echo Park everywhere now.
Yeah, Echo Park Automotive. I mean, let's see here. Echo Park Speedway is one of the most exciting tracks in the schedule. I am actually trying to think.
Hell, Texas. I think they called that Echo Park at one time.
Well, that was originally. So Texas Motor Speedway has always been its thing, but the Echo Park Automotive 500 is usually what happens there. Let me just do a little.
All right, here we go. We got Wayne's gears to turn in.
Echo Park Speedway race tickets. That is Atlanta Motor Speedway now.
Wow.
That's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. They did change the name to Atlanta Motor Speedway.
I'll be damned. Okay,
I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right, Wayne.
So when is that?
So that is June 28th. So that is coming up next week.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Well, I was going to say, John, you could go try to sneak in over there.
I'd have to sneak.
You'll go jump the fence and they'll throw you out.
Like, what are you doing here?
Oh, hey, welcome. I'd like, Burning Rubber Radio? You get the hell out of here.
Oh, we have too much fun with this, folks. But with all that said here, that's going to wrap it up for this week on BRR.
Hold on. Before you go, real quick, Wayne, before you go, big shout out to Josh White, our resident ARCA driver here. He's going to be back on with us next Wednesday. He's got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of things is happening over there with Josh White. That's cool. And John, I know that you and Bobby Dale Earnhardt have been talking about maybe, possibly, hopefully something's going on. Can you sneak anything in there?
There's no updates right now, Andy, but we're still working.
Okay. But you're pretty good for giving
he's
politically correct updates.
Yeah, he's plenty good at the spoiler alerts. But either which way here, yeah, looking forward to having Josh back on the show next Wednesday as well to talk about some stuff here. But for Andrew DeLay, for NASCAR chef John Dix, I am producer Wayne. We love you guys. We'll see you around the bend on Monday after Pocono. Burning rubber, baby.
Burning rubber, baby.
Burning rubber, baby.